This is a dark moment for America, for America, for America, for America, for America, for America, for America.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. Assassination, 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 assassination.
Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Script, back with another video, and as you've likely heard by now, on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, conservative activist and commentator Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while debating a student, eerily enough, on the topic of mass shootings and transgender individuals in America at Utah Valley University. Charlie Kirk, the co-founder of Turning Point USA, which is an American non-profit organization that advocates for conservative politics on high school, college, and university campuses. It was founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk and Bill Montgomery. In addition to that, he's also got the Charlie Kirk Show and millions of followers across social media platforms. He's managed to carve out a large space in the Republican sphere, resonating with many young Americans. Known for his firm evangelical Christian values and polarizing nature, his debates would often stir up quite a conversation, whether it was on a campus or in the comment section of one of his many viral clips. Now, whether you or I personally agree with his values is one thing, but just know that with a story like this, the media is definitely going to take it as fuel to pump up division in our already fragile political climate. Personally, I have seen tons of his clips over the years, and I could say that I have agreed with some points depending on the topic, and others like his firm support for Israel, I didn't in the slightest. But unfortunately, with his death, he leaves behind his wife and 2 children who were potentially in attendance at the event, but someone could correct me if I'm wrong there. Naturally, if you've seen the video of his death, which for obvious reasons I won't be sharing, you're probably thinking, damn, that's a messed up way to go out, regardless of how you feel about the man. Now, this story is very fresh, and while clips have gone around of an elderly man being handcuffed and accused of being the gunman, that has since been walked back by most news outlets. However, reports did state that Charlie was shot from a 200-yard distance. According to dispatch audio reviewed by People magazine, a possible suspect was, quote, on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, and wearing all black, carrying a black long gun, black tactical helmet, a black mask, possibly wearing a tactical vest and jeans. The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, in a recent press conference made it very clear that Charlie Kirk's death was, quote,
a political assassination.
And as Trump stated in his recent remarks,
This is a dark moment for America.
It's clear that there is something more to this story. So for those new to the channel, the practice of gematria is an alphanumeric system derived from Kabbalah, aka Jewish mysticism. This practice is used daily by the mainstream media to script and hide meanings in plain sight throughout the news that we're fed. In a nutshell, each of the 26 letters of the English alphabet is assigned a numeric value, and using the 4 base ciphers allows you to spot patterns between words, phrases, or sentences. When paired with date numerology, you can gain a unique perspective on mainstream narratives that most would never notice. For those who follow me on Instagram at Seethruthescript, you might have seen the post I put up, but there is even more that we're going to get into. So let's start with his full name, Charles James Kirk, the date numerology, and the word kill. Notice how they all align with that 64. And again, this story is that while debating a student on the topic of mass shootings, he was killed with a gunshot wound to the neck. Notice he was murdered 34 days before his upcoming birthday, and murder equates to 34. Here you could see that the phrase shot dead equates to 31 in the most pure cipher, and again, we know that he died at the age of 31. In a number of previous posts and videos of mine, I've talked a ton about this kill date. Basically, throughout the year, there are several days where the date numerology will align perfectly with the numbers 64, 28, 44, and 17, which all so happen to align perfectly with the word kill in the 4 base ciphers. Often when the date rolls around, there are headlines of a notable figure dying and, in many cases, being killed. In this case, it just so happened to be Charlie Kirk. The date numerology also aligns with the word shot, which is exactly what happened to Charlie on September 10th. As you start to notice these patterns and connections, it makes you question how random this situation truly is. You can see here that the words shooting and Wednesday match in the reduction ciphers, with the 44 aligning with the date numerology, and of course he was shot on a Wednesday. When it comes to the date September 10th, it could be written as 10/9 like the number 109, which aligns with the word shooting in the reverse ordinal cipher. But alright, so considering President Trump was the one who confirmed Charlie Kirk's death with a post on Truth Social, it for one is a tail sign that he'll numerically be connected to this story. But also it shows how much of a key role Charlie Kirk played within the right-wing sphere, influencing millions of young Americans to lean more to the right, contributing to Trump's win in the 2024 election. Here you can see that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed 88 days from Trump's 79th birthday. We'll get to the number 79 in just a second, but notice Turning Point USA and Trump both equate to 88 in their respective ciphers. The number 88 is big when it comes to Trump, and if you scroll for other videos and posts I've done on him, you can see how this number pops up quite often. Anyway, I mentioned Trump was 79 years old. That's because the word murder equates to 79. And again, just think about how it was Trump that confirmed the news of Charlie Kirk's death.
To confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible.
Notice that both Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump have that 60 connection with their names in the reduction ciphers, further numerically linking these two individuals. Before Charlie began debating the students at Utah Valley, he was seen tossing out MAGA hats as well as hats branded with the number 47, representing Donald Trump. A photo floating around shows 3 hats in frame, all with the number 47 of course, and it's being used by a ton of mainstream sources right now in their coverage, and it's no doubt for a reason. Notice Republican, Democrat, and Trump all equate to 47, along with the word division. Now hear me out, these two parties are the very definition of division, 2 feathers on the same bird. Whether you side with the left or the right, blue or red, just as the system is designed to make us do, you end up caught in their cycle of division. So with the death of a public figure like Charlie Kirk, a man with many controversial takes, people are already raging in the comments, suspecting it was some sort of Democrat behind this, or as Trump stated in his remarks, the radical left.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals.
I'm going to say this. Democrats own what happened today. I am devastated. My kids have called panicking. They probably, all the kids of every conservative in the country call panicking. Just because you speak your mind on an issue doesn't mean you get shot.
Then by that logic, do Republicans own the shooting of the 2 Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota?
Political.
Isn't this on both sides?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm asking
We
a
don't
serious
know what
question.
condition Charlie Kirk is in right now. Some raging leftist lunatic put a bullet through his neck, and you want to talk about Republicans right now? No.
Further causing more tension. Tension that the media thrives off and will use to their fullest advantage to further split an already divided nation. Remember the motto, Ordo ab chao, order out of chaos. And think about the play on words and the symbolism with Trump stating,
This is a dark moment for America.
After the loss of Turning Point USA's founder, Charlie Kirk. It's practically a coded message, hinting at how the nation is truly coming to a turning point. Now, whether that be for better or worse is unknown, of course, but I think it's fair to say most don't think it's for the best. Speaking of turning point, Charlie Kirk died 97 days after the 13th anniversary of Turning Point's founding. The word death equates to 97. He also happened to die 269 days from the upcoming 14th anniversary of his organization. Taken that his full name equates to 269 in the reverse ordinal. Now what's also interesting is how there were a ton of rumors floating around that President Trump was going to die just a few weeks ago. There was a picture of some bruising on his hand, and Trump even addressed the claims going around. But the point is that people already had this kind of idea floating in the air, and while it wasn't him this time around, it was one of his strongest advocates who was shot. I mean, in my opinion, it's starting to look like a sacrifice, as if someone had to go so another could stay. Others might see it as an attack on free speech, a silencing for speaking out in debate. That in turn could signal that taking part in open discussions might bring trouble, leaving us to wonder how future laws around public debate could shift and whether that could become yet another excuse for more censorship. Notice Charlie Kirk was shot 60 weeks after Trump's assassination attempt in July of 2024. So Charlie Kirk was killed while at Utah Valley University, located in Orem, Utah. Notice how that equates to 38 in the reduction cipher. His full name, Charles James Kirk, equates to 163, the 38th prime number. And for those super familiar with English gematria, you know just how relevant the number 38 is when it comes to the topic of death, killing, and murder, and everything else you could see on the screen right now. Now lastly, what I want to point out is how Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah and the one who declared Charlie Kirk's death a political assassination, has a name that equates to 148, matching the label he put on Charlie's death. Again, as you go through the details and run the numbers, you'll begin to spot these connections. As the famous Shakespeare quote goes, all the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. As of September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk has unfortunately made his exit. It's also pretty crazy how it happened a day before 9/11, an already tense day in America due to the history surrounding that infamous date. Anyway, regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk, RIP goes out to him, but let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Now that the voice and founder of Turning Point USA has been publicly assassinated, is his death really going to bring about a turning point in the already divided US political climate? Time will tell. If you enjoyed the breakdown, you know what to do by now, man. Drop your boy a like, share the video, drop a comment, and most importantly, subscribe, man. Remember, it's all free to do. Spin your boy script, and I'm out of here. Peace. 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 Peace.